Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Look North, our top story tonight. On your marks, get set. 12,000 runners prepare for the very first Rob Borough Leeds Marathon.
Hi everyone, it's Rob and Lindsay Burrow. We just want to wish you the best of luck for Sunday. 2 days to go now. Can't wait to see you on that finish line. Let's go.
And children at Rob's former primary school join in the excitement with their own fundraising runs. They and the marathon itself are raising funds for motor neuron disease research. We'll hear from the organisers and the MND community about what it means to them. Also tonight, dog owners in North Yorkshire are told to control their pets after a spate of sheep deaths and attacks. Just one match stands between Chesterfield and a return to the Football League. We'll look at what their road to Wembley and their chances are against Notts County.
And it's been a dull and overcast day. You can see a grey start here in Scarborough, but the promise of brighter skies through the course of the weekend. I'll be back at the end of the programme with your very latest forecast.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the programme and to our viewers joining us from the North East and Cumbria tonight. Final preparations are underway for the very first Rob Borough Marathon in Leeds. The former Leeds Rhinos player and his friends and family have raised millions of pounds to support families living with motor neurone disease since Rob's own diagnosis in 2019. Well, this weekend will be their largest event yet, with 12,000 runners taking on a brand new route through Leeds that starts and finishes at Headingley Stadium. Nicola Rees is at the stadium for us tonight. Nicola, I'm starting to get nervous.
I bet you are, yeah. Just 2 days to go, so very exciting now. And work's been underway right in the middle of the stadium. We have a finish line. That is super exciting. Headingley Stadium, such a special place, not just because it's the finish line for this huge Yorkshire marathon, but also because, of course, it was where Rob's journey began back in 2001 when he made his debut for Leeds Rhinos. He was back here earlier today with some of his former teammates, and he had the biggest smile on his face.
Lovely, thank you.
The man of the moment, back with his mates at Headingley Stadium, where this weekend thousands of runners will take part in a marathon in his name.
I think it's kind of hit home now, you know, that this is actually happening. Just seeing the finish line and seeing all the preparation, all the work that's gone into this and seeing all the wonderful runners out there will definitely spur us on.
The Rob Borough Marathon will be the biggest ever hosted in Yorkshire. It's in honour of our very own rugby league legend who was diagnosed with motor neurone disease in 2019.
How Rob has fought and attacked this disease has been massively inspirational for me, and I've just tried to show him, and all our teammates have tried to show him how important he is and how much we care and love for him. So we ran a 10k together, which we had a really good time actually. He spent a lot of time laughing in the chair in front of me, so hopefully Sunday will be the same.
Sunday should be a walk in the park for Kev. He's already raised millions for MND charities by taking on a series of incredible physical challenges. For him, running is more than sport, it's friendships and camaraderie.
You can't mention Rob without mentioning Kev, and the sort of ripples of what Kev does shines a light on the MND community, it shines a light on Rob, and what's really important to Rob is getting that MND centre built and making sure that the legacy of everything that's going on now is the MND centre in Seacroft.
Work's underway on the Specialist Centre. The project was given a boost last month when it was announced the marathon had already passed the £1 million fundraising mark.
Motor neuron disease is a devastating disease. 6 people are diagnosed every day, and unfortunately there is no cure. But what this event is doing is it's raising those funds to help us get closer to that cure.
The route takes in Otley and Bramhope, 26.2 miles of glorious scenery and a few hills.
Keep putting one foot in front of the other, or like my wife said, like in Nemo, just keep swimming.
People keep telling me how tough the route is, but actually, like, I live in Saddleworth, so we're pretty hilly anyway, but really looking forward to it. I think every bit of time I spend with Rob is special, so the fact that we can run a marathon together will be certainly something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Well, it's due to be the biggest running event that Yorkshire's ever hosted. So you can imagine it's been a huge team effort getting it off the ground. We've got Run for All's Mike Tomlinson here with us this evening. You must be really pleased about this.
Yeah, pleased and very, very nervous at this moment, but it's going to be a very special occasion.
What can you tell us about the route, and have you had any personal involvement in the 3 miles uphill out of Otley?
Definitely not taking any guilt for that. The route's from Headingley into Leeds and then back through to Otley, back through Bramhope and into the stadium. I mean, this is just the most iconic place to finish, isn't it?
It's amazing, and the atmosphere is going to be incredible. You've been organising events now for 16 years in memory of your late wife, Jane. She would have loved this. She just came through the most epic challenges after her cancer diagnosis, didn't she?
Yeah, no, it was a long journey for Jane, and but yeah, definitely with this, I think she'd have loved to be here. She'd have loved to have taken part in it, and for all the reasons that everybody else would want to, because Rob and Kevin and Lindsay and everybody else, they've just been absolutely superb in the way they're dealing with this, and the money they're raising is just astonishing.
Let's talk to John Hamlin. John, you are running on Sunday. I hope you're well into your taper.
And enjoy the tapering, yeah.
It's so close to your heart, this, because your wife, Susie, she was an avid runner, and you lost her to MND. So this literally, it means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, sadly Susie died 5 years ago from MND. She was diagnosed the same year as Doddy Weir was, who was a massive campaigner for MND, who Rob knows very well. She worked at St James's like Jane Tomlinson, and she ran the York Marathon 6 months before she was diagnosed. So, yeah, we're all running for MND. We've got to remember that when we're going through the pain on Sunday. It's not pain compared with what patients with MND are going through in their families. So we've just got to enjoy the day, get on with it, raise lots of money, and massive shout out to Rob and Lindsay Burrow and Kev Sinfield for the awareness they've raised for MND, for building the centre in Leeds, and for the MND Association for clinical trials and stuff going forward. So it'll be really important.
Good luck to you. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be amazing. There's no doubt it's going to be a really tough day for everyone involved, but the atmosphere and the camaraderie, I'm sure, is going to get everybody to this finish line. 12,000 feet running over that finish line.
Nicola, thank you. And tell John I'll see him on that start line. Rob often praises his wonderful wife, Lindsay, doesn't he, for her unwavering love and care. Well, in 2 days' time, she'll be going that extra mile for him. Quite literally, 26 extra miles, actually. I caught up with her earlier to find out how she was feeling.
Yeah, really excited. I think being here today, it's hit home. This is, it's actually happening in 2 days' time. We'll be on the start line, but really looking forward to it. But yeah, I think the nerves are just starting to creep in now.
The training is so time-consuming, isn't it? How have you managed to fit all of this in?
Yeah, looking back now, I don't know how I've managed it. There's been some late night runs, there's been some early morning starts, and I think that's the tough part for me is the training. It's getting out and relying on people to have the children or to look after Rob, especially on when you're doing the long sort of 2-3 hour runs. So the training's been tough, but I'm hoping it's all going to be worth it on the day.
So if you just dig your heel down again and just pull heel to bum again.
Lindsay has been training for this for more than a year, but 6 weeks ago she picked up a knee injury and was forced to stop running.
Put so much time and effort into doing this, and then just to kind of not be able to run the last 3-4 weeks is just really frustrating. There's still that determination to do it. I'm still determined to be on that on that start line and finish cross that finish line.
You were a bit worried, weren't you, a few weeks ago about your knee? How is it now?
Yeah, good. It's I'll get round. It's just a little bit of knee pain is not going to stop me. And I think when you look at kind of what Rob and some of the MND sufferers are going through, a little bit of knee pain is nothing really, is it, compared to what they go through? And yeah, so we'll just have some painkillers on the day and hope for the best.
A marathon, the Rob Borough Marathon, in your husband's name. What does it mean to the whole family, this event?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really special day, and I think for me this marathon's about community spirit. It's about standing shoulder to shoulder with each other and getting it through it as a city. And the City of Leeds has been absolutely fantastic in the support for Rob since his diagnosis. So I think it'll just be a brilliant occasion and a really special day for the whole family.
Rob has created such a profile for the MND community. And with that comes a lot of press attention as well. How do you find that side of things?
It's been incredible, really. I think just the awareness that's been raised, and to have people say we don't have to explain now what MND is because, Rob's put MND on the map, that patients that are diagnosed, people have that understanding, people have that awareness of what MND is now. So yeah, just incredibly proud of Rob, and for Rob to he was always been quite shy private person, so for him to come out and kind of tell his story at a time when he's most vulnerable, is something really special, I think.
Mile 18.
Yes.
That killer hill. What's going to be getting you up that?
I think just the thought of, kind of get to the top of here, we've got 6 miles to go, and seeing kind of Rob at the finish, they'll have finished way before me, will Rob and Kev, so seeing them finish and seeing, the children, Mason, Mayor and Jackson and the family, and just the support here and the crowds, and, having the stadium, being at the stadium, and this is so special, I've spent many occasions here watching Rob play, so to actually finish the marathon is going to be really special.
Good luck, Lindsay.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Well, there is so much excitement about the marathon, not least among the children and staff at Townville Infant and Nursery School. A sponsored marathon length run is expected to raise thousands of pounds. And more importantly, it's Rob Burrows' former school. He recently returned to inspire a new generation, and raising money is a way of saying thank you to him, as Tom Ingle reports.
There's no stopping pupils at Townville Infant School. Lap after lap, so quickly it makes you dizzy trying to count. But it all adds up, possibly to a whopping 26 marathon miles.
6.
So is that 6 laps?
1, 2.
Are you tired out now? How do you feel?
I'm feeling all right. We're running for Rob Burrows for what he's got.
How does everyone feel for running that far? Excited?
Yeah.
Not tired?
No.
Today we're doing a sponsored run in aid of Motor Neurone Disease Association because Rob Burrows used to be a student here at Townville. Rob and Professor Kevin Till, who's actually a parent of a child here still, both attended and talked to us about their journey, and knowing that really led us to support the Rob Burrows Marathon. It's really nice that he gave us something and inspired our children, and that we can now give back in support.
How much money are you raising?
I don't know. 100.
Really, £100? Is that just you?
Yeah, 200.
It's a bit more than that. Stick a 0 on the end for Townville's terrific fundraising total. Everyone should sleep well tonight, assuming they do eventually wear out, of course.
Yes, indeed. Good luck to everyone who's running the marathon at the weekend. And if you are taking part or you're just going along to watch, we'd really love to see your pictures. You can send them to look.north@bbc.co.uk, and we'll use as many as we can throughout the weekend and on Monday night's programme. And if you see me huffing and puffing up one of those hills, I'm sure I'll be very slow. Please give me a wave. I need all the encouragement I can get. Can't wait to see you all. Now let's take a look at the main news of the day. A convicted child abuser has been found guilty of brutally murdering a 7-year-old girl more than 30 years ago. Nikki Allen was attacked with a brick and stabbed 37 times in the chest before her body was found in a derelict building in Sunderland in 1992. David Boyd, who's 55, was found guilty of murdering Nikki after a trial at Newcastle Crown Court. Megan Patterson is there for us now. Megan.
Well, Nikki Allen was a little girl who was seen out playing in the hours before she went missing on a cold Friday night in October 1992. Dozens of family members, friends and neighbours took part in the search to find Nikki. Her badly beaten body was found abandoned in an old warehouse just 300 yards from her family home. The search to find Nikki Allen's killer has lasted more than 30 years. It came to an end today at Newcastle Crown Court with the conviction of David Boyd.
David? Yeah, aye, how are you doing?
This is the moment David Boyd was arrested.
What evidence you got anyway?
It took decades to bring Nikki's killer to justice. Nikki Allen went missing walking home from her grandparents' house on October the 7th, 1992. The following day, her body was found in the derelict old Exchange building. Later that month, police arrested a man called George Heron on suspicion of murder. He went on trial but was cleared of murder by a jury in November 1993. In 2018, police raided David Boyd's house in Stockton. He was charged in May last year and went on trial at Newcastle Crown Court last month. Today, after nearly 31 years, David Boyd has been found guilty of murder.
David Boyd hid his crime, lying about his involvement and prolonging the family's suffering, knowing all along that he had taken the life of their little girl.
She's my best friend. She's my best friend. They lost half of me. Waited my whole life for this day. And God give me, yes! It's the happiest day of my life. It's like winning the lottery. I feel like I won the lottery ticket. Just to hear that you should have seen me in court, I shouted guilty, yes! Wow, it's the best feeling in the world.
Nikki was abducted after leaving the Garth's estate in Hendon. She'd been hit with a brick and stabbed 37 times. It was advances in technology finding tiny amounts of DNA on Nikki's clothing that finally helped identify Boyd.
In 1992, we were limited to the size of the stain that we would need for DNA analysis. If we were looking at blood, we would be looking at a blood stain around the size of a 5p piece. Today, forensic scientists are looking at traces of DNA that aren't even visible to the naked eye.
Nikki's mother campaigned tirelessly to keep her daughter's murder in the headlines. She's pleased Boyd has finally been caught, but says the police must answer why they took so long to catch him.
What will be justice for you?
When the police is finally found accountable of like, they should have looked at this man first because of his crime. Children, and it was only 3 doors away from Nikki's grandparents.
Well, had things been different, Nikki Allen would have been 37 years old by now, but for her family she'll always be the 7-year-old girl who was taken cruelly from them. As we heard, a really emotional and difficult day for them at the end of 30 very difficult years. Her mum asking questions about the police investigation, why it took so long, what could have been done differently. David Boyd will return to Newcastle Crown Court to be sentenced here later this month.
Megan, thank you. A 6-year-old man from Sheffield has been jailed for 20 years for sexually abusing a child over a number of years. Roger Allen was sentenced at Sheffield Crown Court after admitting offences including rape and making indecent photographs. Police say Allen showed little to no remorse for the pain and suffering caused to the victim. Almost all trains across the region have been cancelled today because of strike action. TransPennine Express, East Midlands Railway and Northern aren't operating any services today and are running a reduced timetable tomorrow. LNER is running a reduced service on both days. Doncaster Rovers have appointed Grant McCann as their manager for the second time. McCann first managed Rovers back in 2018 to the 2019 season and took them to the League One playoffs before leaving to join Hull. He replaces Danny Schofield, who was sacked on Monday. Police and farmers are appealing to dog owners to keep their animals on a lead after an increase in cases of sheep worrying. Already this year in North Yorkshire, 39 sheep have been killed after being attacked or scared by dogs. The owners of the pets face a £1,000 fine. Olivia Richwald has more.
Rebecca Wilson only recently reintroduced sheep at her family farm near Boroughbridge in North Yorkshire. She's concerned about the increase in incidents of sheep worrying, where dogs attack and chase livestock. The family have been victims themselves, but luckily their sheep survived.
It's an absolutely massive problem and a growing problem. Last year it cost the industry nearly £2 million, which is, against all the other challenges, it is unspeakable. Your dog could be well behaved on the whole, really good in the family home, but actually dogs are descended from wolves and wild animals. And the instinct is there, and what can start off as a dog playing and something seemingly innocuous can turn really, really nasty pretty quickly. And sheep are, they don't have to be physically wounded. They can be run around to exhaustion, and sometimes they just drop dead.
There was a recent incident in Rainton near Thirsk where a German shepherd got into a field and badly injured 2 ewes and a lamb. The lamb died later. North Yorkshire Police are now appealing for information to find the dog's owner. We joined the county's rural task force out on patrol. 39 sheep have already been killed in North Yorkshire this year, and there was another incident last weekend in South Yorkshire. Police say dogs pose a real risk to farm animals.
As you can see from this field today, there's lots of livestock in there.
and we have people that walk through on footpaths or nearby with the dogs off leads, and it's easy for the dog just to jump through and chase the livestock. If your dog gets into that field and is attacking that livestock and the farmer sees that, the farmer can shoot your dog. They don't want to do that. The poor farmers have got enough issues going on with the loss of the animals without having to kill another one, but they can do it. So that's why we plead, please, please, just put your dog on a lead.
Police say that the only dogs that should be off the lead near agricultural land are those owned by farmers, like Ralph here, or dogs that are working like police dogs, guide dogs and sheepdogs. Olivia Richwald, BBC Look North, near Boroughbridge.
Now, Chesterfield football fans will be making their way to Wembley tomorrow as the team take on Notts County in the National League promotion final. The Spyrites are hoping for a return to the Football League after they were relegated in 2018. Paul Ogden was at their stadium a short time ago and he sent us this report.
Well, if you look really carefully around us here at the home of Chesterfield Football Club, they've only just started to clear the pitch up after the drama of the semi-final win against Bromley. That's got the Spyrites to the National League playoff final at Wembley tomorrow. Behind all that is happening here, John Crook, Chief Executive. Here's the question, John. Are you ready to get back into the Football League?
We are ready to get back. We are dreaming of getting back. We've just got one massive match before then. We're really looking forward to it. We've got lots of supporters down at Wembley and we are ready. We're ready to play a game and we are going to do our best.
Any idea on supporter numbers?
Yeah, we're looking around 13,000, 14,000, which is great, really. They've only had, 4 or 5 days to book. Yeah. It's tremendous. There's a rail strike on, which doesn't help anybody. Yeah, they've done tremendous to get down there. They'll be out in the numbers, and the one thing for sure we know about Chesterfield fans, we will hear them.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that myself. You've done a tremendous job putting this team together and keeping hold of Paul Cook. Well done, sir. What do you make of this team, Phil?
It's a terrific team. They play great football, and the additions in the last few months, really, of Colclough and Dallas coming in has given it a different dimension. There's plenty of speed, plenty in endeavour, and there's experience at Wembley. Ollie Banks has played at Wembley before, and Dallas, although he didn't play at Wembley before, tasted defeat in the final last year for Solihull Moors. So I think there's a lot of determination to get there. And I of course remember probably the last time I shed a tear at a football match when Chesterfield lost at Forest Green to confirm relegation from the league. I'm hoping to cry tomorrow.
Nobody's going to argue with Phil, I'll tell you that. Let's move on to Tom. Tom, you run your own podcast. What's it called?
The Spyrites Right podcast, yeah.
And your audience? Is there enough of an audience for it? I don't mean that unkindly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're really happy with the numbers that we've been getting, to be fair. I think we started it about 3 years ago now, but since then we've been growing steadily, and obviously it helps when you're winning games, doesn't it? It's nice to be able to talk about our thoughts on the games and that sort of thing, and that's what we try and make it. It's going to be a hard game, good team, but then again, so are we. And I think if we play to our best, we can absolutely win the game. So we'll see what happens.
Love it. So much to look forward to. Gentlemen, thank you. Enjoy your day out at Wembley tomorrow. If by any chance you can't get a ticket yourself, may I recommend you very strongly in the direction of the work of our friends from BBC Radio Sheffield Sport. They'll be at Wembley tomorrow. Tonight, they're at Peterborough for Sheffield Wednesday's first leg League One semi-final. Barnsley at Bolton tomorrow, also on BBC Radio Sheffield. And good luck to Bradford City as well. At home to Carlisle when they start their League Two playoff campaign on Sunday night. It's that time of year, so much to look forward to.
I'll tell you what, Oggy, it's been a right old busy month, hasn't it? Last weekend was the coronation. This weekend it's Eurovision. I can't keep up, I don't know about you. Sheffield is to host a big screen Eurovision party tomorrow with live performances in the afternoon leading up to the contest itself at 8 o'clock. Performers have been rehearsing on stage at Devonshire Green in the heart of the city. The party will feature homegrown and Ukrainian talent.
So we've got an amazing afternoon of free performances, a real party atmosphere here in Sheffield on Devonshire Green from 1 p.m. Street performers, we've got Jamie Campbell, who's the inspiration behind Everybody's Talking About Jamie, that amazing show and film, doing a fantastic drag spectacular. We've got a Ukrainian choir from our Ukrainian community, and we've also got a brass band performing Eurovision hits, and what could be more Sheffield than that?
It's so important because I represent not just Ukraine but my hometown, Khmelnytsky, and it's so important because in Khmelnytsky were many friends work in governments and say like, Marina, okay, let's go, you can show something, yeah, and I want to show my best tomorrow, some Ukrainian stuff. I think it's gonna be cool.
It's going to be very cool. I tell you what, the weather's also very cool. Keely, I don't know whether to wear leggings or to wear shorts for this marathon on Sunday. Today's been really quite chilly.
But it's going to be much warmer, and it won't be cool in Sheffield tomorrow. It'll be lovely and warm. But you're right, it has been cool and cloudy today. Just take a look at this, the mist and the murk first thing this morning in Scarborough. Really grey start to the day. And the cloud extended all the way across to parts of South Yorkshire, well, all of South Yorkshire. In fact, the only place that saw some sunshine today was Cumbria. But I think all of us will see a little bit of sunshine as we head through the weekend. It'll feel warmer too. You can keep your pictures coming into the Weather Watchers page. You can tweet me. I'm on Instagram as well. So yes, we are looking at something a little more promising for most of us as we head through to tomorrow. So there'll be some sunshine for most of us, and it will feel warmer as well. But what about the Robborough Marathon on Sunday? Well, it does look like through the morning at least it should be largely dry, brightening up with some warm spells of sunshine, 1 or 2 afternoon showers around, and the UV index will be high. So just make sure you wear a little bit of sunscreen. We've had some sunshine across parts of Cumbria today. It's been a real west-east split, lots of cloud in the east, mist and murk, and that blanket of cloud really isn't going anywhere as we head through this evening and overnight. And the mist and the fog will redevelop, clearer skies further west and perhaps along the Pennine chain. Here's where we'll have the coolest of the temperatures. Underneath that cloud cover, temperatures dropping back to around 7 or 8 degrees. So we will start the day with some sunshine in the west, more cloud further east. That sunshine will gradually spill eastwards through the course of the day, with plenty of warm sunshine developing. It might just be that right along the coastline we hang on to that little bit more cloud, and it will feel cooler here. So temperatures along the coast perhaps only getting up to around 12 degrees, but pull inland quite widely will get up to 18 or 19 degrees, perhaps even 20 degrees in Carlisle. The breeze will be light. So we have got that variety in temperatures, but further east it will be warmer through Sunday. So I think as we head through the day on Sunday, we'll start off with quite a bit of cloud. The cloud will thin and break across parts of Yorkshire and the northeast, and then we'll start to see some sunshine developing, and there will be a few showers around. Whereas across parts of Cumbria, it'll start off on a fine note, but it'll cloud over quite quickly. 1 or 2 morning showers and then outbreaks of rain spreading in from the northwest later in the day. All of that rain will spread into Monday. It'll cool down. It'll be unsettled to start the week, then high pressure builds again, Amy.
Remind me, what time's that thunderstorm on Sunday?
Oh, if you're very slow, you might catch it.
I will be very slow, that's why I'm asking. Thank you, Keely. That's it from us. Don't forget to send us all of your pictures from the marathon weekend. Good luck to all the runners. See you on the start line. Bye-bye.